Hello everyone, my name is Taryn with Wonderfully Made Handcrafting, and today we're doing something very different. Today I'm giving you a tour of my bedroom / craft room. Yes, I share both spaces together. Number one, because my husband's amazing and lets me kind of take over our bedroom. But I hope this video gives you some inspiration and maybe some tips and tricks on how you can share your craft room with a small space. So this is what this space looks like as you walk in our door. You can definitely tell that I have taken over the bedroom, but luckily, like I said, my husband is so gracious and lets me do that. We do live in a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house or apartment. We have 3 kiddos, and so there's no way for me to really have my own craft room. This is the door to our bathroom right here, and that is our closet over there. So those are still the same. I haven't taken those spaces over yet, although I do keep my lights in the closet and a couple little other electronic goodies. My first little space is this shelf and rolling cart that I have right here. This shelf came from Tuesday morning. I loved it and decided to pick it up. I try to kind of decorate and use it as a functional place. So I keep all my sprays, my distress oxides, and also my Dina Wakley and acrylic paints there. In this rolling cart, I have my alpha and numerical stamps in this little bin. And then down here, I have all my Felicity Jane stuff. I try to separate it with one of those little eyeglass cases. And then I also have down here my planner, my growth book, and a couple of the books that I'm reading currently. I also keep a little washi ring on the side with all the washies that I use a lot or just enjoy, and so that keeps that handy. As we go on, I have this corner that holds my bulletin board and my typewriter. This is a rolling cupboard that my husband recreated. He is a carpenter, and so he found this kitchen cupboard, added wheels and a butcher block to it, and I love it. Over here, like I said, has my typewriter that I use all the time. Also some vintage and antique books and Bibles that I use for mixed media or just to admire. And then this little basket holds all the fabric pieces that I just recently purchased or that I'm currently using. I repainted and distressed this bulletin board. I wanted to make sure I had a place to put cards and also put little paintings and drawings for my kids. They are always giving me things, and so I wanted to make sure I had a place where I could display their work as well. I also always put the postcard of the newest kit releasing from By the Wall for God on these little bulletin boards. It helps me be able to color match easier and just have it right there and available. These are 3 shelves from IKEA. They are spice racks, but I use them a little bit differently. I add my distressed mica stains at the top. Those are those new fall colors. And then I also have my verse cards from By the Wall for God and a couple other distressed products and mink products. And then down here I have embroidery floss, my distressed paint, and a couple different ribbons. As we move over to my desk, I have a couple of organization tools. Here is a tier that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. It holds my alcohol inks on top, my Nuvo drops in the middle, and also my distressed glazes and Nuvo mousses in the back. So that is where I keep all that. And then coming over here, I have this bin from Hobby Lobby as well, and this keeps just everything that I use constantly. So I have all my distressed texture paste and grit paste, and then I have the Heidi Swap toner ink, and also my ink pads, a stamping block. You can see I also have my glue, my spray bottle, and my stapler, handy stapler. I love that thing. I also have my paints and a couple of glossy accents, Fabri-Tac glue. So this is kind of my go-to place to put everything that I use constantly. This desk is from IKEA. I know a lot of crafters use this same desk, and I will kind of show you how I organize the drawers. They are pretty minimal. I like to keep things less rather than more because then I can find things easily and I don't have to be stressed. Having stuff everywhere stresses me out, and then I feel like I can't craft. So this drawer just holds my scissors, my paper cutter, a couple things to take notes on, and also my stamp chamois and my embossing little pouch that gets the powder on the paper. So everything fits nicely in there, and it's very minimalistic, so I don't have to worry about that. The second drawer holds my stamparatus from Stampin' Up. Also, this kind of mat that I used to cut on. All my finger daubers and foamed top of things for ink blending. And then also everything like my foam tape and the foam sticky dots and my large acrylic block for stamps. Sorry, I couldn't think of that. Now the next two drawers are kind of crazy. These are all my Tim Holtz stuff. I love Tim Holtz. If you haven't watched my videos, you should, because I just love his style. And so I like a lot of this stuff. So all my ephemera pieces and stuff, I put in these little little holders, my photo holders, and I keep each like ephemera piece separated so I know which one it is, and I put the packaging on the back side so I remember if in case I want to like get more for my stash. I keep all those little pieces from the back side of the packaging in there. So that's kind of everything I have back there, and I do have some of the tape on the side and some that I haven't used yet. I really like that tape. We also have some of his other pieces. This is not his, but it goes really well. His frames and the stencils on the side. And then these are all his kind of decorative paper. So I have the backdrops on this side with the wallpaper, and then I also add my distress tags right there. The next drawer just kind of pops out because it's full. These are all my dies and stamps. So I keep all my alpha dies from him on this side, all my stamps right here. And then I have like my 3D texture fades and 3D impresslet stuff there. I also have my distress mica sprays right here. I probably will add them to that spice rack that I have. And these are all the dies that aren't alphas. The next drawer is kind of just a little crazy for me, but it's okay. This is just my kind of, if I'm running out of something or stuff that I don't use all the time. So I have some Micron pens in the back. Those can replace ones once I have the ones that I'm using right now, and once those die. I also have all my rings, a sewing kit because sometimes I do some sewing, my Scotch ATG gun because I don't use that frequently now that I use liquid glue, and then I also have just a couple of other things in there that I don't use all the time. This is actually another spice rack that I picked up from Goodwill, and I keep all my Neocolor 2s in it. And then I also have these bars and buckets from IKEA. Obviously, this one has mixed media stuff, paint brushes, silhouette stuff, blending brushes, other extra goodies with like glue and brayers and hole punchers, and then all my writing utensils. I also have all my floofies to the side right here. I love using them in my Bible and for photo props, but when they're not in use, they hang here and look beautiful. I also have all my paint cards from my By the Well for God kits. I love having them here because they're accessible and I remember to use them. The only thing is I don't hang them up when they're wet, obviously, because I don't want paint dripping down my apartment wall. And over here we have all my Distress Oxide inks, also some Daniel Smith watercolor tubes, and a couple of different inks. These are actually old cassette tape organizers, and they work wonderful for holding small little stamp inks and obviously the Daniel Smith watercolor tubes as well. So I have 2 sets of those. So in case Tim Holtz releases a ton more Distress Oxides, or if I decide to start collecting the Distress inks, I will have room for both. But for right now, they just sit here and hold. The second one holds all my Daniel Smith watercolors and looks kind of pretty. So up here I have 3 little bowls. They actually don't hold anything right now. And then my paper clip stash so I can make my own bows. So as we come over here, right below all my Distress Oxides, you have this bookshelf right here. And this is obviously where I hold my Silhouette Cameo and my Big Shot machine. I also have this little organizer to hold all the plastic shims. And then I keep my By the Well for God newest kit right here. So I will change that out each month, and it's just accessible where I can grab it and work on it on my desk. And under here is kind of some other storage. These are Bibles that I use or have gone through. There are even some extras in the way back. And then here I have a little bit of space to add something to, but I also have my jelly print making stuff, and also this butcher little board. I forget what they're called. And then I have some spaces to add some projects that I have worked through. And there's a couple of other like extra goodies in the back, like Nouveau Mousses that I already have those colors, but they are little extras that I can use. And then over here, I have all my papers. So I have my By the Well for Gods in the back. And then I also have my 12 by 12s. And then other like Maggie Holmes right here. So this is how I kind of organize my papers in this bin. And then this is just my extras. And so all the stuff that I have made but haven't used yet, I put in this little bin. And I'm hoping to do some projects where I kind of challenge myself to use those things. Next, I have this 10 drawer rolling cart. This had needed a lot of organization, but I finally got it done. These are all my dies that aren't alphabet dies. And I have a lot of just kind of the staples. I don't have very many dies, but I just have a tag die, slimline die, and 2 kind of word dies right here. I also have all my mini little alphabets from Michaels. This was from years and years ago, but I still enjoy using them, especially this typewriter one. And a couple of embossing goodies, so like a sticky embossing. This one's kind of sparkly, and then gold embossing, and my embossing pens. I leave my clear embossing out because I know that I use it so frequently. These are all my alphabet stickers. So I have like thickers and other things over here. I have my clear By the Well for God alphas, and then my tile alphas right here in this drawer. The next drawer we have is all stencils. So I love stencils. So I have By the Well for God kind of on one side, and then Tim Holtz and some others on that side. Next drawer is some extra By the Well for God goodies. So if I haven't used all the word cards in a study, I put them right here. Also some ephemera pieces that I still want to use. The labels that I love, these are newer. I think they started in December using these. And then also some journaling cards right here. The next drawer is just a bunch of ephemera. I tried to organize this better, but it's just not going to happen. So I just kind of go through this ephemera and see what I can use. I don't get to use these that frequently, but I think I'm going to start trying to use them more often. The next drawer is a bunch of distress paper. So I have the heavy stock, I have craft and the leather one. It's hard to bend. And then I have a couple of other papers. So I have the Nina Solar White from scrapbook.com. and then distressed watercolors, some Yupo paper. And then I also have this specialty wood paper from Marco's Paper. So for the most part, this is like just Tim Holtz distressed papers, but some other specialty papers go in here. The next thing I have is just a bunch of Duralar paper and some kind of like, this is like my plastic paper drawer besides the Yupo. The Yupo goes in this drawer, but this has vellum, Duralar, and a bunch of just different kind of papers. My shrink-a-dink paper. So yeah, this is where this all goes. Transparency film, you name it. This is kind of the plastic paper or vellum paper drawer. Now, this is kind of all about texture. I have a little bit of felt here, some gift wrap, and then we have a little bit of this like cardboard wrapping. I don't throw out wrapping if I know I can use it. Some flock paper and also some felt. I've been using that a lot with the new Tim Holtz Varsity Alpha Dies. And then here is kind of some foiled paper stuff and also some watercolor paper that I haven't used in a long time. And this is really my texture drawer. So I have some of the paper that I got, specialty paper. I did cut this apart into pieces that could fit in a drawer. I know that probably drives some people crazy, but I couldn't like leave it rolled up forever. And I know that I'm not going to use huge pieces of it in Bible journaling, so I just cut it up and folded it. I also have some packaging, and so I put all the packaging that I think I can use again. Also my By the Well for God canvas bags, because I use them to stamp on and yeah, for texture in Bible journaling. So this is the last drawer in that, and that is my texture drawer. The last thing I have to show you is inside this kitchen cupboard. This is where I hold all my big pieces or stuff that just doesn't have a good place to put. So I have all my non-alpha and numerical stamps right here. And then this little 12 by 12 paper holder is actually full of antique goodies and a little ephemera pieces and stuff like that. Then I have my old little journaling cards right here, and also bows. In the back there is a little bin of all my fabric that I don't use every day. Here is my ink machine and also some papers that I did not want to cut up. Some watercolor pencils and also washi tape. I have scaled down a ton on my washi tape, and so I have a couple of drawers still available. I hope you've enjoyed watching my small little tour of my bedroom / craft room. I know it is a small space to work with, and that's okay. I know many of you out there don't have your own whole craft rooms to work with, and so taking over a little spot of your bedroom works just fine. I know I've basically taken over my whole entire bedroom. There's just enough room for a bed in my room now. But just work with what you have, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you want to see how I use all that Tim Holtz ephemera, I will link a video. So just keep on watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.